A lot of people like to say that Sasuke has plot armor. Now, while they may be true in some instances, I would like to give my take on a fight and really deep dive into Sasuke versus Danzo. If you guys are new to the channel, would like to see more content like this, please consider hitting that subscribe button and post notification bell so you guys don't miss any of my content. Let's get into it. Going to chapter 476, we see Danzo taking off his bandages, showing his arm, in which we see he has multiple Sharingan. Sasuke notes this and asks Danzo how he got those eyes, in which Danzo said in various ways. Instead of Sasuke asking Danzo for the long story, he immediately asked Danzo if it was true on Danzo and the Konoha elders' orders to have the Uchiha slaughtered by Itachi. This is followed by Danzo using hand signs and charging towards Sasuke. This panel is interesting, as Danzo likes to talk and is not really caring what Sasuke has to say, but immediately sees him as a threat and wants to take him out. This was also due to Danzo wanting to keep the secret that Konoha ordered the Uchiha clan's massacre hidden, and bringing this information to light would just create chaos and undermine the village's stability. Danzo in chapter 458 wanted the seat of the first United Shinobi Army's chain of command. This was noted by Danzo, noting that Tsunade's time is truly over, with Mifune saying Danzo should be allowed to lead the allied shinobi army. This was all part of Danzo's plan in chapter 456, with Danzo saying he wanted the summit to succeed and make the other shadows acknowledge him as Hokage. Following the Jonin council, we have no choice but to accept him. Now, going back to the fight, we see Danzo strike Sasuke but questions the blow. He notices that he punched Sasuke Susanoo's ribcage, showing no effect. Sasuke immediately grabs Danzo with his Susanoo's hand and asks Danzo if it's true. Danzo tells Sasuke as Sasuke squeezes him tighter that he did not think he was that kind of man, that Itachi told Sasuke everything with his dying breath. Sasuke notes that Itachi wanted him to believe that the Uchiha was a proud clan. He begged the Hokage to make sure that he wouldn't know and fled the village. Itachi accepted disgrace in place of honor and hate in place of love, with Itachi dying with a smile on his face, still fooling you to the very end. Now, Itachi has a lot to talk about and I'll save that for another video. But going back to the fight, Sasuke comes to the conclusion that it was true and manifests more of his Susanoo. In the next panel, we start to see more of Danzo's philosophy and tone as he says self-sacrifice is the meaning of a shinobi, never to see the light of day. Distinguished servants of shadow, that is the true figure of shinobi since ancient times. Now what Danzo is saying here is that a true shinobi lives in the shadows, giving up their own desires and recognition. Since ancient times, being a ninja has meant self-sacrifice and carrying out hidden duties that are never meant to be seen in the light of day. This is the core of being a shinobi, which is to sacrifice yourself for the mission, even if no one knows what you did. We see that philosophy in Itachi and everything that he did, but in Danzo's eyes, it's not just what one person can do with that philosophy, but for everyone to abide by this and never be seen. We see this interpretation in the same panel, with Danzo standing in the front of his squad and they're kneeling down to him. He double downs on this and says that this would not function on just ideals and pleasantries, but in thanks to them, the peace has been maintained. He tells Sasuke that Sasuke misconstrued Itachi's will and may not understood it, but Itachi did this by revealing his secret to Sasuke, finally betraying Konoha. Danzo didn't get a chance to finish his sentence, which is seen as he's being squeezed to death by Sasuke Susanoo. As Sasuke says not to speak further of Itachi, he is caught off guard with Danzo being behind him, saying let's battle with our eyes instead. Chapter 477, Danzo tries to pierce Sasuke with the kunai but fails as his Susanoo's cage can't be pierced. Karin takes note of this and sees that Danzo should have died but can only sense one chakra and it isn't a shadow doppler jutsu and questions if it's genjutsu. Sasuke punches Danzo into the ground, seemingly killing Danzo, but Danzo reappears on top, showing admiration to Sasuke's Susanoo, saying its attack strength is inspiring. As Sasuke then strikes Danzo again, we see Danzo dodge and is followed through with Sasuke activating Amaterasu, catching Danzo. We see Obito note this and say that Sasuke used Susanoo and switched to Amaterasu, which would exhaust him, saying it's too much for just testing out his abilities. Danzo hand signs and shoots out his wind-style vacuum bullets behind Sasuke, hitting him. As Sasuke uses summoning to prevent his fall, Danzo says it's been a long time since he's seen the Amaterasu, saying he truly is Itachi's younger brother. Karin sees one of his eyes close on Danzo's arm. Following some dialogue about Itachi, Danzo shows his arm again, uses wind-style vacuum bullets on Sasuke. Sasuke dodges, goes face to face with Danzo. As Danzo grabs Sasuke's neck, Sasuke slices, cutting off his right arm. But we see again that another eye closes, but the arm fades away, and we see Danzo standing on a pillar telling Sasuke it's useless. As Danzo says this and looks at Sasuke, we then see Crow surprising Danzo, unveiling Itachi. Chapter 478, we see Itachi use Amaterasu on Danzo, but Danzo sees that this is just Genjutsu, halting Sasuke from attacking him from behind. We see that Sasuke is placed on a curse mark of paralysis, which Danzo placed on him the moment he grabbed Sasuke's neck, causing Sasuke not to be able to move. Karin sees this, tries to attack Danzo, and is kicked smashing into the ground. Danzo releases himself and notes that if Sasuke knows the truth about Itachi, and the Akatsuki must know as well, which would mean it's impossible to hide the information any longer. Danzo approaches Sasuke with his katana, followed with some dialogue about Itachi, and then proceeds to slash towards Sasuke's neck, but is caught by surprise by Sasuke activating his Susanoo again. We see Sasuke with his full Susanoo activated, pull back his arrow, and is about to fire just before Kari notes that his Susanoo is almost completely different than before. She notes that his chakra is different and that his rage has matured and gained in power. Sasuke then shoots the arrow at Danzo, having Danzo use Mokuten, diverting the arrow's path. It is revealed by Obito that Danzo, being able to control that many Sharingan and not being from the Uchiha clan, he was in close touch with Orochimaru to have the first Hokage cells implanted inside him to enhance him. As Karin tells Sasuke that Danzo is killable now, Danzo hand signs, but Sasuke shoots another arrow at him, piercing right through his body. Karin also notes this and says that Danzo's chakra slightly shifted as he launched his other jutsu, noting she picked up on it and Sasuke was too late. We see again that Danzo disappears and reappears, having another eye close on his arm, with Danzo looking at it. Obito says as far as he can tell, there are 10 Sharingan on Danzo's arm, plus the first Hokage cells, combining the Uchiha's power and the first power. Danzo looks like he is planning on controlling the Nine Tails. In the same page, we see another eye close on Danzo's arm, which caused a drop in his chakra, which is why he ended the jutsu temporarily to preserve the chakra in his first place. In the next panel, it is revealed that Danzo is using an ocular jutsu that has been forbidden among the Uchiha, the Izanagi. Chapter 479, we see a fatigued Sasuke cough, and Danzo charges towards him, unleashing another arrow at Danzo, which ends up piercing him but not killing him. As we see this, Obito tells what the Izanagi is, saying it's an ocular jutsu, where for a few seconds span of time, anything that is a disadvantage to the caster, damage, or even death can be rewritten as a dream. Anything that's an advantage, such as the caster's attacks, are kept. That blurs the border between fantasy and reality. Danzo uses wind-style giant vacuum bullets and shoots at Sasuke, but is blocked. We see another eye close on Danzo's palm, which Obito saying once that eye uses the Izanagi, it loses its eyesight and to be never used again. Danzo can't undo the Izanagi just yet, as he sees that Sasuke's arrows are difficult to dodge, and fighting the Susanoo won't be easy either. He only has 5 Sharingan left and summons its appear. The beast Danzo summons starts to suck in everything in his path. As that happens, we see Danzo appear behind Sasuke and notes that his Susanoo can't move and that he needs to take advantage of it. As this happens, Danzo uses wind-style vacuum blast towards Sasuke, which works out for Danzo and exposes the armor of the Susanoo. Sasuke then fires a fireball jutsu at the tapir, following through with a punch to Danzo. The fight gets more interesting from this point forward as Karin counts to 60, and we see the Sharingan on Danzo's arm close again. Sasuke is worn out and his Susanoo starts to unwind a little, and Karin notes that Danzo's chakra keeps declining rapidly. She calculates 4 eyes left, with that being 240 seconds or so for the remaining time for his jutsu, which is about 4 minutes, even if he still might have eyes stockpiled elsewhere. As Karin tries to tell Sasuke, we see him tell Danzo that when all 10 eyes on his arm shut, his jutsu will be undone. This actually surprises Danzo as he questions Sasuke about the Izanagi. This would just backfire, as Sasuke only suspected having Danzo being put into admission, calling Sasuke a smart aleck. Now, before I finish this fight, I want to say this. Sasuke had already won the fight a few chapters prior, and from that point forward wanted information so he can get out of Danzo before he died. Sasuke is a strategist and always well thought out, even if he does not have to say it. Sasuke is already many steps ahead. I will dive more into this once this fight is over. We see Obito noting that Sasuke has long known that the battle would be won over by whoever outlasts the other. Sasuke is pressing Danzo with his Susanoo to force him to use up the Izanagi. We see Sasuke punch Danzo with his Susanoo and another eye closes. In the next panel, Danzo infuses his kunai while Sasuke uses his Kusanagi sword infused with Chidori, and they both impale each other. Chapter 480, we see both Sasuke and Danzo pierced in the chest, with Danzo telling Sasuke that his last eye is still open and he already won. But as quickly as Danzo thought he won, he asks, "What's this?" and questions why the Izanagi won't activate. Danzo looks down and sees that his eye was already shut. Now, this is why I said Sasuke already won the fight. Sasuke tells Danzo that he is the one who's going to Itachi. In the next panel, we see how everything unfolds. Before Sasuke and Danzo exchange blows, the last Sharingan on his right arm had already shut. Obito notes this as Sasuke is an uchiha, and Sasuke's observation with his MS is greater than Danzo, so this skill is faster than he could have realized. Sasuke planted a genjutsu using a vision of Itachi as a test to confirm that he could place a genjutsu on Danzo, even if it was just for an instant. And after achieving that, he took advantage and placed a genjutsu on Danzo, making it look like the last eye on his arm was still open. At that moment, Sasuke had already won the fight. This shows how Sasuke's mind works, from testing his genjutsu, knowing that Danzo could get out of it, but just having been caught for an instant was more than enough. This is when Sasuke ended the fight with the coldest quote saying, "Now that's battling with your eyes. Do not mock the Uchiha." Now from this point forward, many people still question why he couldn't use Shisui's eyes, and that's due to already using it in the 5 Kage Summit, which was still on cooldown. The fight pretty much ends there with Danzo unveiling his last Sharingan and taking Karin hostage. And we all know how that went. Yeah. So, Danzo uses a reverse tetragram sealing jutsu and pops a giant crater on the bridge, killing nobody but himself. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Sasuke had plot armor in this fight against Danzo, or do you think plot armor saved him? Comment down below your thoughts and what other videos you guys want me to do. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm shooting for 5K, and hit that post notification bell. Like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.